A new story is suggesting that Elden Ring may be highly vulnerable to cybersecurity attacks, going so far as to allow hackers to take control of your PC. This story is a little bit of a longer one and there's a few dots to connect, but I'm gonna do my best to break it down for you. Elden Ring, of course, is highly anticipated and set to release later this month. It's made by From Software and published by Bandai Namco, just like Dark Souls. Now, if you remember, a week or two ago, all of the Dark Souls servers were taken down as a result of a security exploit that allowed potential hackers to access and even take control of an unsuspecting player's PC. The servers are still down right now, with no news of returning anytime soon, and according to reports by VGC and elsewhere, the takedown of the servers was the result of actions conducted by concerned players. Now, these players had previously discovered the exploits and tried to contact Bandai Namco multiple times through customer support to make sure that From Software is aware of the issues. According to Matt Ombler's piece over at Video Games Chronicle, an anonymous person who traded emails with Namco Bandai support back in December provided a detailed list of cheats and exploits as well as suggestions for how to fix them. Bandai Namco support confirmed receiving the emails and that they were passing the info on to dedicated teams to investigate. But after over a month of inaction and having been cold-shouldered before, a decision was made to reveal the exploit to the public in a non-malicious way as a means to try and get From Software and Namco Bandai to act. Then, during a Dark Souls 3 speedrun being streamed by the Grim Sleeper on Twitch, an anonymous user used the exploit to crash the Grim Sleeper's game, open Microsoft PowerShell, and proceed to use the speech-to-text tool to begin criticizing the Grim Sleeper's gameplay. Someone who claimed to be familiar with what happened posted on the Speed Souls Discord that the hack was done by an anonymous person as a means to raise awareness about the exploit, also known as an RCE or remote code execution. They added that the exploit is not well known and the person who performed the attack has no plans to reveal how it was done, only that it's easy to do and they would like to see the issue addressed by the game's developers. Arguably not the best method to try and raise awareness for the issue, but it worked. From Software shut down all the Dark Souls servers and presumably is working on a fix. You can imagine if the intent had been malicious, things could have been much worse for the Grim Sleeper or any other potential victim of this kind of attack. Now, here we get to the actual headline of our story. People who are familiar with the remote code execution and server exploits have dug into the netcode for Elden Ring and are saying a lot of similar issues and vulnerabilities are likely present. According to VGC and the sources they talked to, these vulnerabilities have been around for years and tons of claim tickets have been filed to Bandai Namco support. So much so that players like Reddit user Luke Yui have even developed their own anti-hack mods to run Dark Souls 3 more safely. Luke Yui has made numerous reports over the last couple years, specifically about issues with Dark Souls 3, and in an email to VGC they wrote, "Every time I've been told it will be passed on to the development team, and I never hear anything else back." Eventually, Luke Yui was so fed up that they made their own anti-cheat mod called Blue Sentinel that patches out over 100 cheats in Dark Souls 3, telling VGC, "I started work on the mod in early 2021 because at that point it was obvious that Bandai and From Software weren't taking the RCE I reported in 2020 seriously. I decided to fix it myself so that if it ever did become public knowledge, at the very least, some of the player base would be protected." Now, Luke Yui goes on in the VGC article to explain that the vulnerabilities in Dark Souls 3 are also very likely in Elden Ring, saying, "I've had the chance to see code from the closed network test and can already tell you that there are a lot of crashes and vulnerabilities in Elden Ring's netcode, the exact same ones as in Dark Souls 3 actually. So I suspect it's going to take 5 minutes for cheaters from Dark Souls 3 to port their scripts to Elden Ring and make release day a hellscape." There are a lot of interesting quotes from Luke Yui in the VGC article about how people could exploit Dark Souls 3 and now potentially Elden Ring. So it's worth a read, but in summary, From Software has made choices with their netcode that leaves their games very vulnerable. Basically, they've made decisions about the way the netcode in the game is structured to make it easier for anti-cheat software, which will keep the number of small-time cheaters down low, but without fixing the core issues with the netcode, the pros that sell cheats online will be able to do a lot of damage even as early as launch day for Elden Ring. Players are put in a weird spot because if they use a custom mod like Blue Sentinel, they're actually technically breaking the terms of their end user license agreement, so they risk being banned by Bandai Namco or From Software. And then on the other hand, if they don't use something like that, they're at risk of being exploited, hacked, kicked, or insta-killed by unchecked cheaters. It's a lose-lose almost. So we're in a situation where probably the most anticipated game of the year is potentially the most vulnerable AAA game for, cyber attacks, hacks, cheats, and like putting players at risk of exposing their personal information or giving control of their PC to a complete stranger. That is, of course, unless Bandai Namco and From Software come up with a fix before launch day. Is this a big deal to you? Unlike most multiplayer games, From Software games do lend themselves to being played offline, you know, the experience is different, but the majority of the game is still there. So if From Software is in fact working on a fix, there's still plenty of game there to play while you wait. But on the other hand, it's also wild that these exploits have been going on for so long. And what's the deal with these support tickets? It doesn't seem like they're going anywhere. You know, where do the emails even go for these? Is the system entirely automated? Maybe there's a situation where, you know, it needs to accrue like so many complaints about the same issue before it gets flagged for like an actual human to read. There's kind of some unknowns here, but it seems like that From Software would be highly interested in like completely game-breaking bugs or cheats that people could perform, you know, putting their players and their users at risk. But it seems like a big mess. I hope they get it sorted out. Anyways, let me know what you think about this situation in the comments. Are you gonna wait to play Elden Ring? Do you think a lot of people are gonna get hacked, or do you think maybe it's not that big of a deal at all? You know, share your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.